So I've got the TERCEL up in the air today, or at least the rear of it. Let me pop the hood real quick. I started having a sputtering issue real bad, and to where the car just would I'd be going down the road, and it would just start sputtering, and it would just stop going. And I would let it sit, and it would go a little bit, and then it wouldn't go, and all the things. Anyways, so I'm pretty sure that I've got a bunch of gunk in my gas tank. I got this filter 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, and I've driven this car a whole 5 or 10 miles, and look at all the stuff in that filter. Now, before anybody says, hey, you need to replace that glass filter because it's going to bust and cause a fire, I've had like 10 people tell me that already. So I'm just using this. I didn't know that at first, so I'm definitely going to replace it with a plastic one. But I'm just using this for diagnostic purposes. It's really easy to see. So, yeah, I'm getting a bunch of crap in there. So I'm assuming that's what it is. I probably just have a bunch of crap in my gas tank, so that's what we're doing today. We're taking the gas tank down. All right, I got my light on. I'm old, so technology is very challenging for me. This gas tank is fairly small. It looks like it's probably only 11 or 12 gallons. It has these two straps holding it up. This strap here and that strap over there. And they're held up by these 14 millimeter bolts right here. Super simple. You start by getting the filler neck off and this breather tube off. And then you take the straps loose from these bolts, and it should drop down. On the other side, let me walk around here. Here's where all the fuel lines are that come back right here. And they go this way, back into the tank. They go up top. So I'm assuming when the tank drops down, I'll be able to get to all these and disconnect them. If I can't just disconnect them here, which I might be able to do. I'm not sure. I'm just going to take it down first and then go from there. All right, so at this point, I've got a jack up under here supporting the tank just in case. Like, I don't know how heavy this thing's going to be, but either way, I don't want it to fall directly to the ground when I get these bolts out. So let me show you what I did so far. All right, so I took it loose here. I there was a hose clamp, just a regular old worm clamp on there, and I took that all the way off, and I had to get a pair of channel locks to grab onto this and twist to get it loose because it's been on there forever. And I had to loosen this end of it as well so that it would slide back over this tube enough to get it off of that big nipple right there. The breather tube was very easy to get off. I just took it off from this end over here, from right up here. Anyway, so I'm getting these bolts loose up here, and the straps already kind of letting loose a little bit. So the tank should be down in just a few moments. The tank's down. Let's see. I'm guessing this is for so that we can tell how full it is, but it looks like it broke. It looks like it came from up there. So it was an access hole, and I had no idea that was there. So I'll have to rewire that, but not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. You know what I forgot to do, which is probably most important? While dealing with gasoline and gas fumes, should always disconnect a battery terminal so you don't get a spark and, you know, something blow up. So we'll do that right now because that's probably pretty important. So I'm looking at the top of the tank, and it looks like there's hard lines all the way to the top of the tank. So if you want to disconnect these lines to be able to slide the tank out from under the car, This is where you got to get them, right here. These short little soft lines. So I'll just slide them off right here. There's three of them. There she is. There she blows. Hopefully she doesn't blow. It's still got some fuel in it, so we got to get the fuel out. And then, I don't know, maybe take these little lids off, shine some light in there, and check the condition of the tank. Sometimes new gas tanks are cheaper than having it cut open and cleaned, reconditioned, and re-welded. So, you know, just weigh your options, that sort of thing. I'm going to clean this thing up and figure out what I'm going to do, and, you know, I'll let you know in a second. All right, so I cleaned out this super white bucket, you know, pretty clean. I'm going to dump all the gas in there and see how much crap is in it. So, yeah, if something crazy happens, just, you know, laugh or whatever. So here's what I found out. I emptied all the gas in here, and there's definitely a bunch of trash down in there. But more than that, listen to this. I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds like there's a bunch of trash inside the tank. Some of it was coming out with the gas, but some of it wasn't. So I imagine some of it's pretty sludgy. So yeah, I'm gonna take these three caps off and look down in there, get some light in there, look down in there and see what's going on. I'm gonna price a new tank and see how much one of those is. If it's like 150 bucks, I'll probably just buy a new tank and not do anything else. If the tank is ridiculous, like, you know, 400 to 1,000 bucks, which I don't know why it would be, I'll probably take it to Freedom Fab here in town. They'll cut the tank open, completely recondition the metal, and weld it closed, so I'll be able to use it. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm probably going to cut this video off right here, and yeah, we'll wait till the next video. Hopefully, if you ever run into this issue, this video will be helpful.